What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dontavious, aka DT, three-time Team USA high jumper with a current personal best of 7 feet 5 inches. And today, I'm going to be talking to y'all about how to jump up first and not into the bar. So I get a lot of athletes asking the question or saying they have the problem of not being able to jump upwards before actually, going over the bar. So what happens is they kind of just, as soon as they take off, they kind of go in this direction toward the bar. And in the high jump, it's called the high jump. So we're literally trying to jump up as high as we possibly can and take advantage of all of the height that we can get, right? So I can just speak on my experience. So what I learned is over the years, as I continue to get better, there had to be a little bit more patience with every jump. So when I was jumping 4.8, or when I was jumping at 5 feet, 5.6, all that, each time I would have to wait a little bit longer before trying to go over the bar, right? So what you'll see is every time the bar goes up, that patience has to grow a split second more of patience, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more every time, to the point where when you start to get to heights like 7 feet, or even in heights like 6'6", like in the 6'4", all of those ranges, when you're not the same height as the bar, you realize there is no way that you can try and go this way without first going up, because there's no way. You're going to just knock the bar right off, right? So as the bar continues to rise, it literally forces you to wait and go up, right? So that's my experience. What I learned over the years is every time the bar gets higher, have to be a little bit more patient. You have to time it a little bit better and just wait. Okay. And what we tend to see with a lot of young athletes, they just dive. They're diving right at the bar, because what happens is it's a misconception. So in the high jump, people think that it's all about trying to go over the bar and arch and all of that. So when athletes are jumping, that's the first thing they're trying to do. As soon as they leave the ground, as soon as an athlete is leaving the ground, you see this head like this, see the arm like this, and trying to do all of that. That's not what we're trying to do, right? So the first thing we can stop doing is stop diving for the bar. We're going to get over the bar. What I tell my athletes, parents, coaches, they're going to get over the bar because we just ran from back there. You're going to go that way. No matter what you do, you're going to go over. So you don't have to try and make yourself go over with a dive or throwing a head and doing the arm and all of that stuff. You don't have to try and do that. It's going to happen naturally because we just ran from back there. So we're going to go that way. And when you're talking about rotation, that's going to happen from leaning, but we can get into that on another session. But it's like, guys, girls, we don't want to dive. So that's the first thing you need to think about. Just change your mind about what the high jump is. It's not about trying to dive over the bar. High jump is an event where we're naturally going to run our approach and allow it to throw us over the bar. Naturally, we don't have to bend, we don't have to do all that stuff, right? So that's the first thing, right? So when we're jumping, when I talk about patience, we kind of want to think about staying away. When I say staying away, like if we're leaning away from the bar, coming in like this, when we jump, when we take off and jump from this position, we kind of want to try to stay away from the bar as long as possible and just literally rise up and go into the rotation naturally. Not because we're doing this and all that. We want to stay away from the bar and rise up. it's almost like we want to jump away from the bar. Because evidently that's really what we're doing, and that's really what we have to do. Because if we think of the high jump, like I said, we're running from way back here and we're running all the way up here. Since we know we're going to go that way anyways, what is the only thing that we can do? The only thing that we can do is fight it. And not in a bad way. We are creating all of this horizontal velocity and momentum going this direction. Our main goal as a high jumper is to fight this velocity, fight this horizontal as much as we can, which is what we do through the curve with the lean. And at the takeoff, by trying to stay away, we want to fight this as much as we can to convert this horizontal energy vertical. Right? That's our main goal in a high jump. How much horizontal velocity and energy can you convert vertical? How much of it can you do? The more that you can, the higher you're going to jump. So the better you get at being able to lean away and hold a position, and the better you get at understanding that we are not diving, we are jumping up or literally almost jumping away and trying to stay away, the better high jumper you're going to be, the better high jumper your athlete or child is going to be. It's a concept. And what you'll come to realize is a lot of people are not great high jumpers not because they don't have the skill or talent. It's because they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing. That's literally it. That's it, most times. Understanding the event can determine whether you're a 6-foot jumper or a 6'6" jumper. Or for the girls, whether you're a 5 feet jumper or a 5'6" jumper. Understanding, just knowing, right? So let's think about this, right? So we don't want to dive, right? And we want to jump. We want to jump straight up. And a good cue for this, if you were to imagine that at the high jump pit, right at the bar, there was a tube. I don't know if you guys have ever seen in those this old futuristic cartoon when they would go up the tube or whatever, or even I think on the Wall-E movie they kind of went up the tube, and you just kind of go up the tube and just go to a different part of the house or the world or whatever. Think about there being a tube or a chute, just like that, right above the high jump bar, and when we take off, we're trying to jump up that tube. And what's going to happen with that way of thinking, you're not going to want to go boom this way because we know we're jumping up the chute. Right? And that's the kind of mindset we want to have. We want to, when we take off, boom, we want to be staying away and trying to jump up this chute. Right? And a question that is going to come up a lot of times is, well, if I'm staying away, if I'm jumping away from the bar, how am I going to get over? You got to trust that you're going to get over. Because of all the work you did in the approach on the back and all the work you did through the curve and leaning away, which is going to create rotation to catapult you over the bar. You have to trust that. And that's why the approach happens in parts and pieces. It's not just run fast and go jump and hope I get over. You do things ahead of time that are prerequisites that put you in position to clear a bar. Right? So there's no need to worry about whether you're going to get over or not. You're going to make it. You are going to make it. You just have to trust yourself. You have to trust your body. You have to trust the lean and trust that you can jump straight up through the chute and your body is going to still rise and travel up and still rotate over the bar. And that's why we have to work on the approach. And that's how you can take advantage of that, right? So Let's also talk about a drill that can help you think about jumping through a chute, right? So a full approach pop-up, one of my favorite drills, is basically just running your full approach with no bar, no bungee, no nothing. Running your full approach and taking off. Just taking off onto the pit and trying to jump up, straight up, right? So you run your full approach, you jump, and you try to take off straight up, right? So what's so good about this drill is you don't think about going this way or this way, none of that, because there's no bar. So the only practice you getting, or the thing you're practicing, is just running your full approach and taking off as high as you can and trying to go straight up. Great drill for this when you're thinking about staying away from the bar, thinking about jumping up and not in, right? So full approach pop-ups will not only dial that approach in, it'll get you mentally in that frame to go straight up at takeoff. Okay? Another drill that can help you with the concept of being patient. So earlier I talked about, when we're trying to rise, we want to rise up before we actually go over the bar. We want to give ourselves time. We literally want to almost jump away from the bar, which sounds crazy to say, but that's what we're doing, because what are we doing? We are fighting all of that horizontal velocity and converting it vertical. And the better you do that, the better high jumper you will be. Right? So another way you can practice this is by practicing jumping at low bars. Don't be the the athlete or the coach that always just has the bar at the athlete's PR every day. Every day they come to practice at the PR and they jumping every day. They're jumping at the PR every day. Don't be that. That's not how you get better. Because if you're putting somebody at the extent, like the edge of what they can do every time, they're not going to get better. You have to work on the technical things and have the bar lower so that they can prepare themselves to be in proper positions instead of just thinking about trying to clear a high bar. Right? So another drill you can do is have the bar low. Have the bar at what will probably be what they open at, their opening height, or even lower than their opening height. And have them go up and jump. Like run their full approach, jump over the bar, but be patient. Take like a split second pause in the air before trying to go into the technique. A split second. You go up, run up and jump, boom, pause, and then go into the technique. So it's almost like having a freeze frame in the air. And it's almost not even doable, right? That's the difficulty of it. Because you're literally trying to stop your body in the air, right? So you're trying to physically stop yourself from even moving before going into the technique. And what that's going to do is going to teach you that when you take off, we're not going to go this way. We're literally going to pause in the air right here almost. Pause and let ourselves rise. And then we're going to try to go into the technique. Just a split second of pause. And what that split second of pause can do for you is help you rise another 1, 2, 3 inches into the air once you learn it and once you get it down. And that's just the drill to practice it. Okay, guys, so just to review what we went over so far, how to jump up first and not into the bar. So we don't want to dive. We don't want to dive. We want to change our mind. We want to change our high jump philosophy, that high jump is not about diving into the bar. It's not about trying to arch our back a whole lot and all this. We want to understand that high jump is about positions, right? And the best way to do this, to not dive, is to not only use the approach and the curve to lean away, but number 2, we want to jump up the chute, right? We want to jump up the chute. And we can practice this by doing like 1 to 2, 3 set, like 2, 3 steps, walks or whatever next to the bar, visualization, and boom, taking off, jumping up the chute. And also full approach pop-ups, running your full approach, taking off and jumping straight up through the chute, right? and being patient. So be patient when you're jumping over these bars. We have to think about staying away and jumping away. And a way that we can practice that is putting the bar relatively low and thinking about pausing for a split second whenever we take off. Boom, 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 boom. Pause for a split second at takeoff and try and rise and then go into the technique. Jump. So when you do that, it's going to mentally create this muscle memory in your mind that you don't have to go that way immediately. Which you don't. Your body's going to do it on its own. But yeah, guys, that was how you jump up and not into the bar. If you guys enjoyed that content, definitely like this video and subscribe to the channel. And if you need more help with any of this or anything high jump related, please DM me on Instagram at Dontavious Hill. I respond to all the DMs and all the parents, athletes, and coaches reaching out for help so I can get you the help that you need. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. We out of there.